Hi, I'm Pittaway, an avid and keen air rifle hunter, and I personally believe that my own shot placement and accuracy is worth more than the old-time question of which calibre is best for hunting. What I mean by this is, whether you're shooting from a 177 rifle out to a .25 calibre, as long as the shot is placed within the vermin's kill zone, it'll die humanely. To achieve this type of accuracy, you have to practice a lot on the range, at all ranges throughout your shooting capability. To assist you in this type of task, there's a software that runs on your PC that helps you with this. The software is called ChairGun Pro, and it's from Hawkoptics.com. Over the next two parts, I'll be showing you this software working and some of the basic functions that it has to offer.
Let's take a closer look now at the Hawke ChairGun Pro software itself. To start the program, double click on the red icon seen here. That's automatically placed on your desktop once you have downloaded the free software from Hawkoptics.com and then installed it onto your computer. The program will automatically open at this view. In this part of the demonstration, I'm going to show you in layman's terms that although the software may look complicated at first, it's actually very easy to use and very user friendly. I'll also talk you through the various areas showing now on my screen and how to adjust and customise the software to suit your own individual shooting requirements. In part 2, I'll show you how to use the software to calibrate and customise the software to suit your own rifle scope and pellet combination. I'll also show you how to calibrate your own scope's build dots to suit your individual shooting style and needs. We will start now by me explaining the 4 different areas that are currently on my screen. The calibre tabs, the data entry area, the table area and the graph area. Firstly, we'll look at the 4 coloured tabs that are at the top of the screen. These tabs represent the 4 calibres that the software is designed to work with: 177, 20, 22 and 25 calibre. These colours can be changed to suit your own individual preferences and eyesight. To do this, all you do is simply click on Configure, Colour, and this box opens. You'll then look for the colour whichever your screen is at the moment. In our case, it's yellow. Click on the yellow and then you get a colour picker. Pick whichever colour suits your eyesight and click on it. Then simply click Close. Automatically then, the program will turn to your favoured colour. To go back to the default, click again, Configure, Colours, and then Default. Then press Close. Let's now look at the data entry area, seen here. But seeing as I'm a fan of the 22 calibre, we'll click on the 22 calibre tab for the rest of the demonstration. On doing this, you'll automatically see that the software places figures in the white data boxes, seen here. These figures are standard figures and are for a rifle with an average energy reading of around 11.5 foot-pounds. These white boxes are the boxes that in part 2 I'll show you how to fill in correctly for your own rifle scope and pellet data. Next we will take a look at the table area, shown here. This table gives you all the data regarding the information you have inputted into the software for your own rifle scope combination. To view only the table and make the graph disappear, do the following. Click on Display and Table. You will now see that the graph has disappeared. If you was now to look at the table, you can see that data has been produced for a range of every 20 yards, shown here. If you want to alter that, simply click on Table, Show Every, and you can pick from 1 yard right out to 25 yards. I like my data to be produced every 5 yards, or if I'm working in metric, 5 metres, so I'll click the 5 yard tab now. You can now see that data has been produced at 5 yard intervals. If you do like working in metric, like I, then simply click Configure, Units, and then Metric. You will now see that the table has been produced in 5 metre intervals. Looking across the top of the table now, you can see there's a lot of headings with a lot of information actually in the table. At your preferred zero range of 30 metres, as stated here in the data entry area, you can see a darker green shaded area This is just to bring your eye to your zero range information quicker. If not all this information is needed, you can customise this table for your own requirements, and it's simple to do by clicking on Configure and Table Columns. You'll now see the column selection box open, and in the middle there's a lot of white tick boxes which is already filled out by the software itself. You don't need to use all these boxes, and the only ones I use are the following ones: POI, point of impact, where your pellet is actually going to impact. Mill dots, I like to keep a representation of where my old over and old under points are. Drop, this is in centimetres and how far the pellet is dropping in centimetres over its trajectory. Velocity, if using metric it's in metres per second, if using imperial it's in feet per second. Energy, how many foot-pounds the rifle's got at certain distances. If in metric it's in joules, and if it's in imperial it's in foot-pounds. These are the only tabs I really keep open. And along the bottom you'll see there's another way there of changing at what interval spacing you would like the data to be shown at. I'm going to leave it on 5 metres, so I'll click OK. You'll now see that a lot of the data has disappeared, and only the data here, what I've clicked on, is what is being shown. We'll now spend a moment or two to look at some of the data itself in the table. And for this demonstration we'll use the 15 metre point as shown here. What you will note though is that some of the ranges have got minuses next to them where some have got nothing. If it's got a minus like this line here, it means the data is being taken from underneath the scope's line of sight. Anything without a minus, shown here, means it's either above the scope's line of sight or on it, as at the 30 metre point. Right, going back to the 15 metre point and the point of impact, what it's saying here is the pellet would impact 2.445 centimetres above a target if zeroed from 30 metres. It's also 1.1 mil dots above the actual target at 15 metres. So to actually hit a target at 15 metres you would have to provide 1.1 mil dots old under. The pellet is also dropping 3.6 centimetres at 15 metres, but it has a muzzle velocity of 156 metres per second, still quite quick. The energy at 15 metres is 11 joules. Remember, if you change this to imperial it would show you in foot-pounds. Let's now look at the graph itself. This is what I like to use more than anything in the software. To show just the graph, I'll do as I did before by clicking Display, but this time I'll click Graph. By clicking Graph, you'll now see that the table is hidden. The graph is constructed automatically by the program, with the range in metres or yards along the bottom as shown here, depending whether you're working in imperial or metric, and centimetres or inches up the side as shown here for the point of impact. I'd now like to bring your attention to some of the key lines on the graph. The first one being the red line shown here running from west to east. This is the scope's line of sight, and it's basically where the scope is looking at all times. The next line is this green arc-shaped line here. This is the pellet's trajectory, and it's depicted by whatever data you enter into the data entry area shown above. The next two lines, in between them, as shown here, is the distance between your kill zone. And for this one, in the data entry area, the kill zone is 4.572 centimetres. What this is showing, that 2.2 centimetres each side of the scope's line of sight is your kill zone, making a full kill zone of 4.572 centimetres. The final line is this green one along the bottom here. This is known as the point blank range, and what this is showing is where the trajectory stays in the kill zone. You can now see it's coming out the kill zone, so there's no green line, and then it enters again here, showing a point blank range at this side.